Hey, 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 and happy belated Valentine's Day. And if you like me, you probably didn't get but like one or two Valentines. So make sure you check your mailboxes because I have something special coming for you, both in your physical mail and in your email. But I'm here today with the incomparable Kiara Solomon, and we're going to be talking today about the tools you need to build a business you love. And in honor of Valentine's Day, I'm going to be hosting a special event on February 28th. Register now for this free master class. And it's called For the Love of Money. And you can go to www.dollarsprofitsandwealth.com to register for this master class. But today we're going to be talking about the tools that you really need to build a big business. And one of the reasons this is so important to me is because I feel like as hard as we work, our businesses should be worth something. And I don't know if you anything like me. We work hard on the job, we work hard with our families, we work hard in our businesses. So at some point we got to ask ourselves, what is the payout? What is the payout for working so doggone hard? And not be afraid to accept that payout when it comes. So if you got any questions, definitely let us know in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from today. We look forward to seeing your comments. Share this broadcast with other women so they can understand it. And I had a whole conversation this morning with some of the ladies in my mentorship, and I welcome that conversation because number one, sometimes as women, we don't have somebody to really talk to, right? About what's really going on because the world makes you feel like um you got to have it all together, and it's not like that all the time, and sometimes it feel like it ain't never like that. So just to have people to talk to that you can be honest about what's really going on, because as women, even when you get your business right, it may be your family. Hey, Joanne from Birmingham. I'm from that neck of the woods. I'm from Tennessee. Even when you get your business right, you got your kids, and then when you get your kids right, you got your man, and then when you get your man right, hey, we missed you this morning, Alicia Nicole. We had a great conversation. But it's always something. I'm gonna let you start to dig deep into that, Kiara.
Oh, Coach, I 100% agree. There's never going to be a time, I think, where any of us feel like everything is perfect, right? And so, one of the keys that I am learning to success is you have to not only learn to accept that first, I think, right? But also put some tools in place, put some things in place so that when you are not operating at 100%, or when something else needs your attention, needs your focus, you don't suffer, or the business doesn't suffer because you have to take your attention away from it. And I think that's one of the biggest obstacles that I see so many business owners facing. It's like, oh, something happened. I have a client right now who's going through this, right? Stuff is going on in his personal life. Things have come up, and because he didn't do the work to get some of these tools and systems set up, he is now on struggle to really even keep the business functioning, to keep the business maintaining. And, again, it's just so challenging because all of us go through things, right? All of us have personal lives, and like you said, loved ones, spouses, whatever the situation is, right? We all have those things that are going on. But when I look at corporations, right? When I look at Jeff Bezos, when I look at Jeff Bezos is a great
Who went
example.
through a divorce, by
I'm
the
about to
way,
say that because he went
and
through a
had to
billion
cash
dollar
out
divorce.
all his money.
Okay, a billion. She
All
said, "Give
right.
me all the money." Didn't even keep it. I think that's the best type of thing to do to somebody. Like, give me all the money, but I don't even want it. I'm gonna give it away to charity. Okay. But he went through all of that. But Amazon wasn't sending out notices like, hold up, hold
Well,
up,
we
Jeff
can't take no
Bezos.
more orders right now. When I see entrepreneurs that say, "Oh, I can't take no more orders right now," what? What do you mean? But I think it happens, Kiara, to women more
Yeah.
often than not, and we have to start over.
Yes. And I think, for myself, even I've gone through several things that have occurred in my business. Back in 2019, this time I was recovering from fracture, breaking my leg in two places, right? Being in a boot and being on bed rest literally for like, it was an indefinite amount of time when it first happened. But because at that time I had already prepared some things for the business to be able to function, yeah, there was some downtime. And I think the thing that was harder when I look back at that situation was me emotionally being able to deal with the setbacks, not necessarily having to worry about the technicalities of how were things gonna work on a day-to-day basis. Right? Is everybody gonna get what they need? And am I still gonna make money in this business?
That's a very good point. So I think one of the things that I'm learning in all the studying I'm doing is that mindset comes first in any race. I don't care if you're a business owner. I don't care if you're an athlete. I don't care who you are. I was reading this book the other day and we talked about it in that review. What's your predominant state of mind? Is your predominant state of mind that you're a winner? Hey, Robert, is your predominant state of mind that you're a winner? Is your predominant state of mind that everything is going to be okay? Is your predominant state of mind that I'm going to fight through this? Or is your predominant state of mind placing the blame on somebody else? Or being a victim of circumstance? And don't get me wrong, circumstances are hard. Life in and of itself is hard. But we have to make sure that we understand that life is hard for everybody. It's not just you. Everybody somewhere, even despite that's the one thing, and I love social media. Hey, Martine, because it's how I make my money. And guys, I'm having this special masterclass on February 28th. Me and my team decided to make it free, so make sure you register at www.dollarsprofitsandwealth.com. Um, but even in spite of everything we do, making sure that we keep ourselves on track. And it's hard. And I love social media, but social media will have you thinking that everybody else is doing better at it than you. And the very truth of the matter is we all doing about the same, plus or minus a few dollars, plus or minus a few pounds, plus or minus a few relationships. Ain't too many people just really balling across the board. What Beyonce say? Sometimes stuff go down when it's $1 billion in the elevator. It don't matter how much money they had. They still was in that elevator kicking and scratching. And I think, Robert, I would disagree just a little bit. I don't look at this as being one of our worst economies. I look at it as being, I want to say this the right way. I think our relationships with money is worse than it's ever been. My grandmother, my mother, and I'm gonna turn over to you, Kiara, after this, didn't have the opportunities that we had, but they weren't in debt like we are. And they kept everybody fed through the depression, through more economic downturns than this. So is it the economy that is bad, or is it our spending habits? Is it our earning habits? Have we become comfortable with earning just enough, working in jobs that don't pay us what they should, undercharging in our businesses, scared to raise our rates, and then overspending? Kiara?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I read, or I was listening to a podcast, and the host was reading a recent report, and he said that African American spending power, and for those of you who don't know, African American spending power right now is in the trillions, right? Trillions of dollars. African Americans are the number one consumers in the United States. And they said that the African American spending power has increased maybe by like $3 trillion or something like that, but our net worth has decreased. Right. And so what that says is that every dollar that we earn, we're not investing, we're simply spending, right? We're going out and buying liabilities instead of buying assets. And so I 100% agree that we have to change the way that we look. And I want to go back to what you said a few minutes ago about social media, because I literally just did a live stream about this yesterday on Instagram, where I was saying how, comparison really is the thief of joy. And I felt myself yesterday feeling a little bit sad, not because I was like, oh, why is this happening to this person, or why is this person accomplishing this? But really because sometimes constantly looking at other people's accomplishments makes you feel like you're not doing anything, right? And the example that I gave them yesterday was, there's a post right now going around. I've seen about 10 people repost this week alone, that says, making $20,000 a month seems hard until you're around people who are making $20,000 a day. And I said, that post, at face value, it seems very motivational, very inspirational, right? But if you just started your business 6 months ago and you only making $1,000 a month, you only made $1,000 every other month since you started your business, that post could make you feel like, oh, I'm not doing good enough, when you came from zero, right? When you started at zero 6 months ago. And so sometimes we really have to, I was telling them yesterday, you got to honor your own journey. You got to really keep your blinders on. And it's difficult with social media because we have to use it as one of the tools to market and promote our businesses, right? And so unfortunately, what happens a lot of times, especially if you're not careful, and Coach, you talk about this all the time, you'll start scrolling and watching other people's lives.
Stop.
You'll be all in their business, knowing everything about all the celebrities, all the
And they
stuff.
ain't worried about you. They're not worried. Listen, I always say this. It's not that I don't care about other people, but I don't have time to care about what you're doing and stay focused on the vision that the Lord gave me to. Amen.
Amen.
Can we all agree to that? We were in class one night and they were talking about somebody and that somebody in her family had passed away. I said, how y'all know that?
Right.
How do y'all even know? How do you even have the time? I can't keep up with the people that's coming and going in my family. And not only that, but when when my people passed away, she wasn't over here worried about my people passing away. I'm not saying that to say I harbor any, I wouldn't expect her to. I don't harbor any ill will, but y'all over here worried about everybody and they mama. And everybody and they mama simply is not worried about you. If you spend your time focused on your clients, focused on your family, focused on your health, focused on your money, focused on your peace of mind, I don't know how you have time to scroll. I really don't. So when people come tell me, well, such and such is doing such and such, it's not to say I don't ever see what anybody else is doing, but I divorce myself from it. When I'm looking at the aesthetics. Is this something that I could see doing in my business? Is this a fit for me? Yes or no? But I ain't got time to ride nobody else's jock, baby. Get your own stuff. Why you ride mine? That's what Lil Kim say. Ride your own business. Be your own fan club. Like Trina say, she in this cheerleader skirt and these legs flexible. Put your own cheerleader skirt on. Get your own pom-poms. Root for yourself. Spend your time talking about where you've come from and focused on where you're going and keep your blinders on and run your race. And we're going to be talking about that in my For the Love of Money Masterclass. Make sure you register at www.dollars profitsandwealth.com. But let me tell you this. I know there's a lot of things out there. Hey, Miss Berlin, that compete for your time, but don't miss this masterclass. I know there are a lot of things that compete for your energy, but don't miss this masterclass. And in fact, I'm going to count on you guys to bring some people in. I'm going to count on you to be there early because my goal is for it to be standing room only. And understand that God, when the line was formed to give us gifts and talents, God didn't miss anybody. But are you using your gifts and your talents, or are you so busy watching somebody and you don't know my story? You don't know how long I practiced to be in this limelight, how many times I spoke to be able to be able to articulate my goals and vision. You don't know. I used to look at skinny people and be mad. But girl, I don't know how many meals she missed to be small, okay? And how many, and are you willing to do the same thing? I just got to that space that I was willing to miss a piece of meal in order to get to that next level. We got to stop looking at other people saying it's easy for them because everybody got something we struggle with. Diane said, we coming, coach. Y'all better be there February 28th. I'm going to tear the house down. I am.
Yeah, coach, I think it's so important that we learn how to focus on ourselves, right? Stop letting so many voices live in our head. Sometimes the goals that you have, sometimes the things that you aspire to, it's not even your goal. Somebody else has planted a seed in your mind, and now you off doing something else. I'll use myself as an example, right? I love makeup, and every so often I'll see somebody and I'll be like, I'm about to start me a makeup business. That's not a goal of mine, right? It's just that I looked at somebody else doing it, said, oh, that's easy for them, right? Don't know how much they invested, didn't do no research or nothing else. I just assumed that it was easy. And so sometimes we judge where we should be. And this is another reason why a lot of people quit, right? Because you're judging by what you see somebody did on social media. So you're saying, oh, it was easy for her to build that business and make, 6 figures. It was easy for her to do it. So it's going to be easy for me to do it. Not knowing how many nights she stayed up all night, not
No,
knowing
they
how
don't
much
tell you on
she
social media.
sacrificed, not knowing none of the backstory. You just assume that the journey was easy because all you see is the highlight reel. All you see are the cute
The
pictures. And
outfits.
I was telling Danielle yesterday, I met a married man a few months ago. Not met him like that, y'all, but was having a
Right.
conversation.
Clean
Not
it up,
met
girl. Go on, clean it up.
and he was telling me how before his divorce, he was actually getting a divorce. And he was saying how before his divorce, him and his wife would be just faking on social media. So they had people thinking they was the perfect ideal couple. They'd be taking a picture together, cheese, and then put the phone down and start arguing and fighting again. Whole time people like relationship goals, this what I want. So we have to learn how to detach ourselves from social media and use it for what it is, which is really a tool. For me right now, I don't see Facebook or Instagram as being anything else other than a tool to market whatever it is that
That's it.
you have to sell.
That's it. And understanding too that you've got to start getting your following away from social media channels. That should be your number one goal this year and every year is to bring the party offline because the power of these social media channels, number one, continues to shift. Everybody talking about TikTok and Reels and Instagram. If you get where you get and sit still, one of my goals in this season is to become so super consistent. I want to be as consistent as the sun rising and setting, and nobody questions whether the sun is going to rise and set every day. And if you're that consistent, people will come to you. You ain't got to run around. You ain't got to worry about the algorithms. You don't have to worry about being trendy. What's the new trends? People will follow you and they will follow you for you. While you talking about Robert talking about Clubhouse, LinkedIn about to get audio. They say Pinterest is about to get audio. So the things that we think are new and up and coming, if you don't grow your list and get these people off of these social media channels, and I'll give you an example. I had what, 37,000, 40 some thousand followers on Periscope. When Periscope went away, those followers did too. So that was my prime lesson in building a list, taking people where you go, when you go.
That's 100%. I'm sorry, that's 100% accurate, because what people don't realize is that the platforms are changing. And also, when we look at what actually, like from a statistic perspective, what actually generates revenue, what actually produce sales, people actually spend more money from your email list, right? Actually 40% more than from social media. On social media, I was talking to a potential client a couple of days ago, and she was like, "Oh, my conversion rate is only about 2 or 3% from social media." I was like, "Oh, that's accurate.
That's good. That's about what you're gonna get.
That's right."
That's about
She's
it.
like, "Oh,
And
really?"
that's
I thought,
actually
"No,
kind
no,
of
no, sweetheart,
high.
you doing?"
That's
That's
actually kind of high. That's on the high end.
right. You might be overestimating it, and if you are getting 2 to 3%, that's amazing.
That's great.
Congratulations,
That's awesome.
because most
And
people
I
are
think,
not.
girl, because that's that bad math. People be like, "Well, I got 5,000 followers. If each one of them just spend $5, first of all, Facebook not finna let you in front of all 5,000 of them, no matter what you do. They're just not.
And also, we have to remember that Facebook and Instagram and all of these other platforms are businesses as well. I said this at my conference. Coach, let's say you own a big, I don't know, a big open area where where people could come in, and you got customers in there. You own a big retail store, and it's 1,000 customers in there a day. And I say, I'm going to come to Danielle's retail store and set up my shop, and I'm going to just sell to her customers all day. I'm not going to do nothing else. I'm going to just sell to your customers. Well, you going to want to cut. You going to want a piece. You're going to want to charge me for access. That only makes sense. So because to us, this platform is free, it's free for customers to come into your store. Right? It's free for customers to walk around and browse all of the merchandise, right? But Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and all of these other places have taken their time to build people up to come to these platforms. Clubhouse is new. Do y'all remember when Clubhouse first was building? Do y'all remember how they was doing it, trying to make it an exclusive community? You had to get invited, and all of y'all was running around trying to get invitations to go over to Clubhouse. They had a whole marketing plan to grow that platform. So it seems very unfair to me. I don't know. Y'all can tell me in the chat if y'all agree, but it just seems very unfair to me that I had to work to get 10 billion people on my social media site, and you get to come for free and just sell to all my people for free. That doesn't make sense, right? So, of course, Facebook is going to say, if you want to reach more people, you have to run ads. Of course, Instagram is going to say you have to abide by these algorithm rules. We want people to stay on the platform. Why would I allow you to share stuff that's going to drive people off of my platform where I work to get them to show up?
Exactly.
It just doesn't make sense. So I 100% agree. You have to build your own central place, your own email list, and you have to build your own community. And I think that people mistake having followers on Facebook or having followers on Instagram as having a community. It's not the same thing.
It's not. And we've got to stop confusing it for that. And guys, if you have any questions, definitely put them in the chat. Make sure you register for the masterclass. It's coming up on February 28th. We've been behind the scenes working on some amazing things that are coming that'll help you with your business, because I'm that committed to helping you guys move the needle on your business with the right tools. With the right tools. So make sure you go to www.dollarsprofitsandwealth.com to make sure you register.
Absolutely. Definitely. I'm so excited for some of the things that you have set up and been working on for everybody this year. I wish we could make some announcements tonight, Coach.
Girl, we can't make none tonight. We can't make none tonight.
Yeah, but definitely you guys have to focus on getting, and the other thing I want to say is focus on getting around the right people, right? So on your social media platforms, whatever profiles you have, are you following people? This is one of the things that a lot of people don't realize has a major impact on how they are found on these platforms. Are you following and connecting with people who are your ideal client, or connected, maybe related to your industry, right? So Instagram has rolled out this new feature, Coach, where a lot of people may have noticed this, where they will show you related pages based on what you like or who you follow on Instagram, right? So I follow a lot of like daily motivational tips or whatever, and I'll see more and more of them from pages that I'm not necessarily following. So definitely make sure y'all get in this class, because I know that Danielle is going to teach you guys a lot of stuff about making sure that you have these things in place. But you want to do an audit of your own social media, right? Am I connected with the right people? Does my profile clearly, tell who I am, what I do, so that I can be found on social media? Because that's another reason why a lot of us are not growing our businesses as rapidly as we could be, right? Because you're not searchable or findable on these social media sites. You're spending a whole bunch of time sharing memes and quotes that don't got nothing to do with your business, sharing crazy fight videos, sharing, all types
I
of
just
different
can't
other
with that.
things that
I just can't. But you won't talk about the promotion you got going on. I just can't with that. I just can't with that. Thank you, Verlin, for the reminder to make sure you register at www.dollarsprofitsandwealth.com. I just can't with that. You sharing all that ratchetness, and you what it is social media. The algorithms have us fooled because we think, oh, well, when I post about my business, nobody likes it. It's because they shadow ban what you post about your business, so not that many people see it.
and see it.
You
They
post a picture of your feet in the water, they're gonna show it to everybody.
this is, I told somebody this the other day. Hey, have you guys noticed that, like, if you watch a video, like, put this video on mute right now, the captions will still come up on the bottom of the screen. So if Facebook can auto generate captions from a live video, they're listening to what we're saying. If you, right now on the iPhone, there's a feature that you can copy the text off of a picture. They can scan and read what those images say. So they know when you promoting your business, sweetheart. Facebook not slow.
Now, and haven't been for a long time, which means you got to get faster than them. And it's not just, it may just be Facebook now, but it's coming everywhere. It was once upon a time, I was telling y'all, go live while you can. Go live while you can. There's still places that you can leverage video for a more organic chance at getting seen. Are you comfortable enough to get out there? And I'm talking to myself, me personally, I've just got to do a better job of being more not behind the scenes building as much as I am out in the public, talking about what I have going on. And so that to me, that starts now. That was my goal for this year. I'm almost done building the things I said I wanted to build. And I've just got to get out there and trust my team to do the rest. And you guys have to do the same thing. And if you don't have a team already, you need to get one ASAP. And one of the things I was telling this morning is, truthfully and honestly, we've been taught that we have to sacrifice in order to move the needle. And I'm at that point where I just want to figure out how to have it all. And I really feel like I can. I really feel like I can. And that's the truth. And so I'm super excited about the 28th. I'm looking for a physical location. I gotta find the name of that place because I think I'm actually gonna do it virtual, Kiera, but at a studio. But yet, I mean, I think we all have the opportunity to um, move the needle how far or how close that we want to. And it's really up to us.
I 100% agree. I think the beauty of social media right now is that, it does give you the ability to reach globally if you have a strategy and you're willing to get out there and execute that strategy.
You know
Um,
what? And the funny thing is, you have to have both. You can't just have a strategy and not be willing to get out there. You got to get a strategy and then you got to go. You got to put your guerrilla marketing to the test. And not everybody is willing. Shoot, some days I ain't willing to do it. Shoot, just being honest, it does take a level of discipline and commitment that is unparalleled.
yeah, you definitely have to know how to sell, but I disagree, Robert. I don't think you have to have a superior product
No, you don't.
because there's so many people out there, and I use this example all the
Don't
time.
forget, we don't say we disagree because
What?
we don't say that.
Why
How to
not?
win friends and influence people. We don't start with.
Oh, okay.
We say.
I have a
So
different
Robert, I
opinion.
think just a little bit differently.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Okay, now go ahead.
Thank you. Okay. So I see that just a little bit differently, Robert, and that, there are so many people out there that don't have superior products,
Don't.
right? Kylie Jenner launched a few months ago her swimwear, and people were talking so bad about it all online about how it was falling apart and it was cheap and, it just wasn't good quality. But baby, she was selling,
Out.
making millions, billions, if
I
not.
know people who don't have the most impressive websites, who don't have the most cohesive social media, but because they show up, we think you have to know how to sell. But if you show up and build relationships, people are going to buy your stuff. And one of the things I fought myself for, there are people who hire other people that may not serve them as well as I might, strictly because that other person is more accessible than I am. Meaning they've put more time in, They've done more marketing, they've been more consistent, and I can't fault them at that. A lot of times, we as women, and I'm not saying you should put a raggedy product out there ever, I don't believe in that. But a lot of time, especially as women, we spend so much time trying to get the product perfect that we don't realize that if we just show up and serve, that whole halo effect is going to take over. It's some raggedy products out there, y'all, and they're making millions of dollars. Let's not ever forget that when an iPhone first goes on sale, it's full of bugs. I don't be calling people name, Robert. But he shows up. Not one of my favorite people. But I can't be mad at the fact that you have shown up, run your mouth so much that your believability factor is through the roof, and you've talked your way into a TV show, you've talked your way into this, and if I can arguably say when he said 10x, all you really got to do is 10x your showing up. And that's exactly what he did. He 10x this showing up. He was showing up morning, noon, and night for his brand. And when I was showing up morning, noon, and night for my brand was growing like wildfire too. So it's something that just can't be denied. You got to show up early and often. And so whether people like you or not, whether you got the best integrity or not, whether you have the best product or not, the you show up. Exactly. Me and Kara, we always go back and forth about my emails. And at one point, I was emailing people 2 and 3 times a day. And Kiara was like, girl, that's just too much, da 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 da. But I started to look at the people who are emailing their people 2 and 3 times a day, and they're making multiple millions of dollars a year. And I remember one of them telling me, I'm like, well, why are you emailing all these people so often? And I started to think about myself. And even the ones that email me incessantly, I still read their subject line, even if I don't open the email. When they text me, even though I don't respond, I still read the text, even if I don't respond. So I'm still mindful. Somebody type their word in the chat. How many people are mindful of your business? If you don't do something to get people to think about you every day, what will make them think about you? And the answer to that is nothing. People are busy. They barely thinking about their children. They barely thinking about, we got people who are caregivers for their parents. They got to worry about their job. They got to worry about their man. So what would make them think about you if you don't do something? Send an email, send a text, give them a call, send them an inbox message. We used to laugh at people that DM people, but I remember when that was me. And I didn't care if people said no. We're so worried about people saying no that we miss the yes. And that's the truth. The analogy I always use is if your $1 million was in a subdivision with 5,000 houses, and you know that somebody in one of them houses or several of them houses has your $1 million, how early and often would you be knocking on them doors? Girl, you be sleeping in your car, knocking on them doors. You be knocking on the doors, people be calling the law on you. And not to mention that you may knock one day and they not there, so you gotta go back and knock again. Well, that's the truth. Our $1 million is out there. But will you miss your yes? Worried about the no. Will you miss your $1 million because you're afraid of what they gonna say? But you know, Rosalind, one thing I definitely understand being a caregiver for your mom and not showing up. But the thing is, we continue to show up at these jobs no matter what. When we're grief stricken, we go to the job. When we're caring for children, we go to the job. Caring for parents, we go to the job. We got to do the same thing for our generational wealth. And that's what I'm going to be talking about on the 28th. www.dollarsprofitsandwealth.com. When you've registered, go ahead and say me in the chat because I don't want you to miss out. We got to be willing to do the same thing for us as we do for ourselves. Joanne said, my company has auto posts. We have serviced over 1,000 clients in less than 2 months. That's great. But a lot of times, auto posts don't necessarily work on social media. They caught on the auto posts like Hootsuite and all of that quick. Is Hootsuite still around?
It is, but you know, again, you had there, and I will say this: you scheduling posts is good for consistency, but in order to grow, you have to have some sort of organic interaction that you're doing, native interaction on these apps, right? So if all of your content is 100% pre-scheduled, you're gonna see a lot of your engagement drop, and that's because Facebook wants people on the app, right? They want people who are interacting on the app. They want people who are present and engaging on the app. And then also a lot of them have restrictions around the content that you can use. And yeah, Robert said our clients who use Hootsuite get banned. Oftentimes these pre-scheduling services don't update or shift when Facebook changes something. And so Facebook will revoke their API, basically their integration with the app. So you just have to be careful with that. That's all I will say. You just have to be careful with that.
Joanne says her company does text, which is very effective if you have phone numbers, emails, which is semi effective, and phone calls. A lot of people have lost the order of their telephone, y'all. Let me tell you something about that telephone. That telephone works. Y'all might get a call this week from my people. That telephone works. My goal is to get 1,000 people at that event on 2/28. It's a Monday at 7:30. I'm gonna have people on the phone calling people. That phone works, y'all. Hey, but you know, here's the thing. This goes back to what we were saying. Somebody said I personally like text better because I will actually read it. But it goes back to you got to have people's phone number. Social media ain't gonna just even if they join your group. Social media is not gonna just necessarily give you their contact information. So it's critical that as we're building these relationships, and I'm all about building relationships this year. Robert, I haven't forgotten you. I'm definitely gonna call you. I'm on deadline for this project. But I'm looking for people who are interested in partnerships, joint ventures that want to work together and, promote, work together and cross promote, work together and build, and understanding what reciprocity really means and understanding what working together really means. I'm a stone soup type of chick. And I believe that that's how we grow villages because it's just cheaper to go together. And that's the one thing that social media doesn't count on is us working together. You know what, Joanne? And I totally believe in that too. Joanne says my slogan is each one reach one. We ask our clients to send someone and we give them $25 when they do. Affiliate programs are definitely, people don't understand that when you get an introduction to a potential new client, that's worth money. And people will follow that person and buy from that person faster. Sometimes then they'll even buy from you, girl. Been following you forever and ain't bought nothing. So that whole day and time of, you know, hoarding your audience because you think you're keeping them from they may go and buy from somebody else. You don't have to worry about it. People that are going to buy from you are going to buy from you, and people that are not are not. So we're going to get out of here because I know I got some work to do, Kiara. I know you do too, but my goal is to come back later tonight. But if you have not already registered at www.dollars, profits, and wealth, all right, Robert, I look forward to speaking with you. Make sure you do. Make sure you share the word and bring other people on board because it's critical that we all work to move to that next level congruently. So I appreciate you guys, and we will talk to you later. Love you guys. Bye.